to create with you tonight? What is everybody up to? We'll give everybody just a minute or two to get on and get comfortable. Just going to move a couple things around for a second. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week. I know we're all kind of in that hustle and bustle just before Christmas. That last little rush. Thanks, Ben. Okay. We'll get started here in just a sec. Hello there. Ah, here we go. We're getting people on now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think we'll go ahead and we will get started here pretty soon. Darren, are you ready yet, or do you need a couple minutes?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, tonight we are going to be working with the Welcome Home stamp set, the Welcome Home paper pad, and the Welcome Winter die set. And I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera view. Oh, knocking everything over in the process. All right, so I have to make sure that we're kind of situated well. Let's see if that focuses. Does that look focused on your screen, Darren?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So,
Might be close.
a little too close?
Looks like it. Look at your tablet.
I'm looking at it. I mean, as long as they can see what I'm doing, it's not too close. All right, let's try that.
All right, that'll work.
Okay.
Donna,
So.
hi.
Hi, Donna. How are you? You have to tell me which Donna. Darren.
Donna F.
Donna. It was nice talking to you the other day, Donna. Okay, so this is the Welcome Home paper pad, and I've kind of got mine deconstructed because I've used several sheets from it already, but I'll show you the one that we're going to use tonight.
Candy says hi.
Hi, Candy. How are you? So looking at this paper pad, one of the things that struck me was just some of the colors to me were a little less traditional. So it was kind of fun because especially this one, struck me as something I needed to play with because I would not have thought to use those colors on a Christmas card. And so guess what we're doing tonight? We are totally going to use those colors on a Christmas card. So this is the paper that we've got. And I cut mine down. I purposely went through and I chose this to use this to cut it along the center of the two trees so that we have the middle one intact and then these ones, which ends up being about, I want to say, it's not quite 3 1/4, it's 3 1/8 inch wide. And I left it at 5 1/2 long. So it's going to go the entire length of our height of our card. So yeah, so you're going to want to cut that down. You can kind of see how I did that. And then the next thing we're going to do is I already put together my cardinal, but I used some colors from this. So a couple of weeks ago, I showed you paper from...
Penny says hello.
Who did?
Penny.
Hi, Penny. How are you? I showed you the pastel greetings kit the other day. And unfortunately, I disassembled the kit, so I have to just kind of scramble to find pieces from it. But there was a really pretty gold piece of paper and a really pretty pink that were both like a pearlescent. And of course, I thought I set that right there, but of course I didn't. So I'm not going to be able to show you the pink, but I can show you what I cut from that. So I made our cardinal with that pink. So it's got that really pretty shimmer to it. And I did look up to see, I was going to do it anyway, but I did look to see if there was such a thing as pink cardinals. And there are, but they are not so common. But I thought it would be fun. So we've got our pink cardinal, and that one's already put together. Other than we'll put an eye on him. So then, the next thing I did was I created a piece of paper to use with our welcome home. So we're going to create a background that we will then use for our poinsettias. So,
Candy, you're doing well.
I'm glad you guys are doing well.
Penny says happy Friday, everybody.
I am so happy it's Friday. This week went by really fast, but it was a good week. How about with you guys? So I'm going to use a piece of the glossy stock. I don't know how many of you have used this, but it's kind of a fun paper. It's got obviously some of a glossy finish to it. And I liked the way that the Chroma Mist sprays react to it. So we're just going to make a color to use with the, to kind of make that pink. Because it's not really pink and it's not really orange. So we needed something kind of a pinky, rose gold kind of color. So what I did is I started, I can't.
Said today's been a good day. She's enjoying the cold.
I'm so glad, Donna. I know you definitely do better in the cold, huh? Okay, so we're just going to spray from kind of probably 10 inches away. I just sprayed yellow, orange Chroma Mist. And now I'm going to spray a little bit of Magenta Sparkle, which happens to be my favorite Chroma Mist color, I think. We're actually using most of my favorites tonight. And then the next one that I used was Coral. So we're going to then take a spritz just of water, kind of loosen our colors up a little bit. And you'll have to forgive my ugly bucket. It definitely takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So then I'm just going to kind of blot it. And you can kind of see how you like your color ratio. I think we might need a little bit more yellow orange. I don't know. I did it twice on the other one, which I will show you in just a moment. I don't know. It might be okay. Maybe we'll do a little bit. We'll do a little bit of yellow orange. And a little bit of coral. I think we have enough pink on there. I'm going to just dab it a little bit more. I don't feel like I need to put more water on it.
Candy said your bucket's well loved.
This bucket is definitely well loved. It looks like I had a heyday with my my penny aqua pigment in it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. I actually already have one through the magic of YouTube. So once it dries, it fades out a little bit. And I think I actually might have picked up traces of the copper, which I actually am totally fine with. It's kind of like a gel plate, and that sometimes it picks up things unless you put something down, and sometimes it's kind of cool. Okay, so you can see I've already cut these out. So what I did is I just stamped this bloom, this bloom, and this bloom onto this paper. And I could do it again, but I don't really see that it's necessary because I just used red ink, and I went ahead and I stamped them out. And then I used the dies to cut them out. So, oh, there they are. I was like, there's some dies missing, but they slid to the bottom. Okay, so that's how we got to that point. Let me just turn that over. Okay, and then the next thing I did is that I decided that I don't really know a lot about how poinsettias grow, but we may have created a new species of plant because this one's going to grow in kind of a branchy way. So let's get all of our pieces. And I know I have the dot to my eye in there. And I got a little, there we go. We've got to keep track of that dot. So I'm going to put that dot right on that piece of paper. And hopefully I remember. Okay?
Lisa says, good evening.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Okay, so we'll try to keep those separate so that I don't bump that. And you know what? I won't be at all surprised if I do bump that because I know me. Okay, so we've got all of our pieces now. I cut out the branch from the pine bough, but what I did is I cut it out in green because I didn't want it to look necessarily like a branch, but maybe more of a vine. Because, like I said, I'm not really sure that, I don't know how big poinsettia plants get when they're just growing, but this one's going to be a big one. And I also, these are the leaves from our Welcome Home set. And I don't really think that that's the way that poinsettia leaves look, but it is in our card. And that's what's so fun about creating, is you can do what you want to do. It's okay if it doesn't really exist. You can make it exist. So let's start by getting...
It exists in an alternate universe.
That's right. It exists in my little crafty universe. So I'm just debating on how I want, now that I've got everything on this little circle, I actually need to use it. So let me find something else to put all of these on so I don't lose them. And then I think it's kind of going back and forth. So let's make a decision here. I think we'll do something like this. I don't mind that color, but I liked it better with the vellum on it. Kind of softened it up a little bit. And then we'll put our branch across that. And we'll put our bird maybe right there. Maybe our sing over here. Okay, let's get to that point.
Lisa says you're doing very well. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it, Lisa. So I'm going to grab my Barely Art Glue. That is what I like to use. And I think I decided to go to that side. Didn't I? No, I feel like I have to look again. It's going to go this way. No, I want to go to this side.
Donna said she's loving this.
Oh, I'm so glad, Donna. Okay. So I just want to make sure I've got that lined up. And that is why I like liquid glue, because you have a little wiggle room to move it. Okay, so now I'm just going to take it a little bit, I want a tiny, just the slightest border on that side. I think that's good right there. And we can put some more of our glue on there. Okay.
Donna said she loves the pink cardinal.
Donna, I thought it was kind of fun to making a pink cardinal too. Earlier today, I posted, I'll show you this other one. I posted just a traditional red cardinal, and I thought, ooh, it'd be fun to see. Now, I have to tell you, so we've got our pink one, you've seen the red one, and then Betsy Burge from our design team, keep watching, because I don't know if it's posted yet, but I will tell you, she did something fabulous with hers too. That was not traditional, and I really loved it. Okay, so let's get our circle on there. And I think we'll put it about right. Let's put it about right there. And now I think I'm just going to go ever so slightly along the edges, and I'm just going to wipe it off because sometimes you can get away with not having it show. And I'm not a fan of it showing, but some people are more particular about that than others, and that is okay. To each his own. Create your own ending, right? That's our theme. I love it. Okay. So now, let's get that little dot on here because I am telling you, I know me, and if I don't get it on, I'm going to lose it.
Donna R says hi.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
Says she hope you're having a good day.
I am having a great day. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day, too. Oops, I didn't push hard enough. Okay, so I'm so excited we're going to get that dot on there. I'm excited I didn't lose it. Knock on wood. I did, however, turn it the opposite direction, which isn't too serious, but I like it better when it's on the right way. Let's move it over just a little. I'm just going to use my little pin here. There we go. Okay. Yay, I can calm down a little bit now that I have that taken care of. Hey, Ben. Ben?
A little dot for the eyes called the tittle.
Can you please go grab me a little bit of tissue?
Yeah, where is it?
Just right there. Sorry, I feel like I'm either getting a little bit of a cold or allergies today, but...
This?
Uh-huh. Thanks. I appreciate you. You saved my life.
Hi. Tell them I said hi.
Benji says hi to everyone.
Lisa said the dot above the eye is called the tittle.
I'm so glad that I found the tittle and that it is no longer causing me stress.
Donna R said she's sore. She did some gymnastics on the stairs and did not stick the landing.
Oh, Donna. Oh, that makes me hurt just hearing about it. I'm so sorry. I hope that you are feeling much better very quickly. All right, so now let's pop up our sentiment. And I think that'll help that just stick down. And I'm going to put one right here too, just so that it doesn't cave in the middle. I feel like I have twice as much trouble getting the backings off of the foam squares when I am live. But knock on wood, so far so good. There, hey. That was actually pretty good for me. Okay, so we'll put that right here. Okay, so now let's glue down our little branch. I have to decide one thing first. I want to decide if we want to put our ribbon on underneath the branch or over the top of the branch. And I'm thinking we want to do it underneath. So let's tie a little bit of ribbon around it first.
Donna said, thank you, nothing serious, it's black and blue.
Oh, you know, my mom, you may have heard this phrase before, but my mom always said when we fell down or whatever, or if she got hurt, she'd say it jarred her ancestors. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the older I get, the more I feel I feel like that is the best expression ever. It's just not the same falling down after you're not a little kid anymore. All right, let's see if I can get this bow to cooperate with me. It's kind of giving me trouble. I like to make it so that the satin side, the shiny side, is the side that shows on both sides, but sometimes I tell you, it is a challenge. Okay, I think we've accomplished it. We may not on the hanging part, but the bow itself is. So, and I think we're going to do a little cheat, and I will show it to you in 1 second. Okay, so I think it's a little loose. I don't like it quite that loose. So let's cheat a little bit. And I'm just going to take some of our tape. And I'll put some on this side. And I'm just going to pull it however tight I want it. And that, I don't think will be a problem, but just in case, maybe we'll just kind of, I really don't think it's going to do anything, but I'm going to pull it up a little bit just so that it lays on the card flat. And now you would never know it's as loose as it is. Okay, so we've got that done. We can add our little branch now. Oh, I forgot something. Oh well, too late now. I was going to, if you want to, it's not necessary, but it was just something I thought might be kind of a nice touch. I was going to use a little bit of Viper ink around the edges of my circle, but since I didn't, I guess it's not necessary, huh? We will just roll with it. I really like the fine tip on the Barely Art glue. It makes all these little words and all these little branches so much easier to glue. Now, when I put this on, I'm not going to push the ends down quite yet because we still need to add some leaves. I think we're going to mess with this a little bit. Let's do it kind of, now that there's glue everywhere, let's try this. I said I wasn't going to push him down, and then what did I do? I pushed him right down. So I'm going to lift him up a little bit so that we can slide our leaves underneath him. Well, maybe not all of them. I keep doing that. It's just habit. So used to making sure it's all tucked in there. Okay, now on the leaves, we can either tuck them behind or we can put them over the top. I actually, now that I'm looking at it, I might like it better on the top. So maybe we will push them down, right? Okay, let's see how we want to, I'm going to line it up before I start sticking them down. Let's kind of mess with it. Let's kind of spread some here and there and everywhere, right? we've got one more big one if we want to use it. Maybe we'll do one right there. Okay. Okay, my dogs are loving the holiday season because every time we get a delivery, they just go crazy. They get so excited that somebody's at the door. I think we'll leave that one open so that we can put a little one right there. Now we'll put this last big one on. We'll move on to the little ones. And we're kind of winging it, so hopefully we like how it all comes together in the end, because it's never the same twice. I always mess around with it, but then I end up doing it completely different anyway. But I like to have some idea, but we're just gonna go for it. So let's kind of decide where our bird's going to be. I think I kind of like it right there. Let's see if we still feel that way after I kind of place some things around. I may not need all of the leaves either. I might just put one right here and leave that other one open. Or let's see. And that one looks awkward. Let's see what happens if we turn it the other way. I don't like that either.
Shalana says she loves the color of the bird.
Oh, thanks, Shalana.
And Donna R says we love the colors of the card.
Isn't that fun, Donna? Like I said, it's not anything I would have thought of, but that's one of the things that's so fun about the paper pads is you can just kind of get new ideas. Or, you know, I often will just go to Pinterest and look up color schemes because I just love seeing what people put together. Don't forget, I mean, you can find inspiration anywhere. You can look on advertising, whatever, and don't stick to your old standbys all the time. You might find out that you have more favorites than you knew. I'll put this last leaf on and then we can move on to putting on our bird and our blooms. Shalana, I loved the card that you made the other day. I actually commented on it because it is so beautiful. And you used colors that I wouldn't necessarily think to use, and I really liked them. Okay, let's pop up our bird. I definitely think our bird needs to be popped up.
Shalana said great suggestion.
Yeah, it's fun to mess with colors, isn't it? I am definitely a fan of color. I love most colors. But I definitely, there are times when I have to just kind of mix things up and get out of a rut. I think we all experience those from time to time. think I'll have to, I want them straight on, so we'll move them over just a little bit. Okay, now let's get some of these beautiful blooms on there. Thinking something like that. So I think we'll just glue those on. I was going to, you know what, I am forgetting all kinds of things tonight. I was going to use embossing powder on my sentiment, but since it's already on, I'm not going to do it. But I will show you what I did earlier today, or at least what I posted earlier today on the other tag I was showing you before. So Candy inspired me because she was talking about triple thick embossing powder, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to pull that out and play with that. So I actually used it on top of glitter paper, glitter stock, and I really liked what it did. And this is great. I love BrutusMonroe glitter stock though, because BrutusMonroe glitter stock doesn't shed so much, doesn't flake off. But what I thought of is if you have some other that is not quite as good as BrutusMonroe, you could actually use the embossing powder over the top to kind of seal it.
Donna said gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Donna. And then I actually did a black layer of the Welcome Winter, and I kind of offset it. It's hard to see, but I did offset it just slightly so that it would give it a little bit more depth. And then I added one more layer.
A little bit when you're showing it.
What was that?
Move to the right when you're going close to the camera.
Okay. And then I did triple thick all over the top of that. So it kind of sealed it all together. So you can see it adds a whole nother dimension to your design.
Shalana says lovely. Donna says wow.
Thank you, guys. So you also got to see what this branch looks like with the pines instead of the leaves like I used on this one. Okay, so now for the centers of our flowers, I wanted to tie the yellow in a little bit more, and I really wasn't sure what I was going to do. But what I ended up doing was I just have in my stash, I think I've had this for probably 15 years or so. Do you guys have these in your collection? I think they're still available, but I've had this bunch a long, long time. And this just makes a little tiny blossom. Like that. And so I just thought that was just about the right size to put in the center. And now let's put a little bit more detail on ours. Let's see. I've got these little seed beads, I think they're called. Is that what these are called? So we need one of those for our little bird's eye. And I didn't even spill him. Are you proud of me? That's so unlike me. I usually would spill it. But the night is not over yet, so I won't get cocky. Okay, so hopefully we can get that to dry. And then I think I've got these little tiny gold, whatever these are, little pearls, I guess. And I think those might be okay for our centers. Let's see how they look. The trick is getting them off of the little paper. Let's see, I was thinking if we did like 3 of those. Oh, well, I flipped it right off of the thing and now it's in no man's land somewhere on my table. This is delicate surgery, right? Yeah, I think those will do just fine. So if you listen really closely, I don't think they're too loud right now, but the geese, we must be on a migration path. I know I talked about this last year because it was one of the fun surprises when we moved in. And so there's a little, what is it? What do you call that, hun?
What?
It's not a lake. What is that?
It's just a little pond.
This is like a little pond across the street from our house. And they gather there, but they like will cover the entire pond. And when they start flying over our house, they are just deafeningly loud sometimes. So if you all of a sudden hear a weird sound, a lot of honking, you'll know what it is. All right, one more and we can put this on a card. There we go. I think that will work. So let's put this on a card base. I'm going to use one of the pre-scored card bases that I absolutely love.
Penny said overnight pit stop.
Yeah, we must be, Penny. It doesn't even matter what time of day. They are there all day long. All right, I lost the ball on the end of my pin. We'll deal with that after. Okay, I told you the night is young. So, not clear of disasters yet, right? What was that, Darren?
The Pendle vanished completely.
What vanished?
The geese.
Oh, yeah, now they're quiet.
See there, and then they're gone.
Yeah, sometimes there's none, and then all of a sudden you can't even see the pond. It's really weird, but kind of fun. All right, I kind of folded that crooked. Let's see if I can correct it. It's just slightly off. Yeah, I think we're okay now. Okay. So let's go ahead. If I can get this out of my glue. There we go. Oh, the whole thing came out. I'm telling you what, this is truly alive. Look what happened. The whole tip came out. It's because I used a different pin, because my other pin actually had the same thing happen to it today. And so this one I think is slightly larger. All right, I think crisis is averted. Maybe. Let's see if I can get that to go back in. Nope, I just bent it completely. Time to buy a new tip. All right, well, you know what we're going to do for right now? We are going to just use tape. There's a time when you just say, all right then. May as well utilize this, right? I will say this tape is sticky enough that you definitely want to take a little extra time to make sure that your card is on your card base straight. Yes, they are. I've had these a million years too, and they kind of look at the handle slips down on me. Okay. One more. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can do this. That is going to be the way it is. So hopefully it's on there pretty straight. All right. So we have finished our little card. What do you think? Definitely not colors I would have picked, like out of my own brain. So that was kind of a fun experiment. And if you're kind of having a creative slump, I highly suggest this. It's a lot of fun. Just make a card even that you've made before and just mix up the colors if you want. But it'll get your brain going. It'll get your imagination going. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera. Okay. I have to tell you, I'm a little bit sad to see Christmas cards coming to an end here pretty quick. So next week I will probably, it's, you know, the next day after is Christmas Eve. So I will likely do a New Year's project. Not sure what I'm doing quite yet, but I think by then, if you don't have your Christmas projects done, well, you have one more day. So go back and watch some of the things that the team has made and you can go by there. Anyway, I really appreciate you joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun and I hope you did too. And I hope you're inspired to create. And in the hustle and bustle of everything, I hope you're able to find some time for yourself and some time to be creative. Thank you so much and I'll see you next week. Bye.